And now for your scheduled conclusion.
Oh yeah, I said it. I list Generation 4 as my second favorite generation over the masterpiece Gen 1 and over Gen 5.
So you like Gen 4. Why don't you explain before I kick you where the sun don't shine?
Hey, unnecessary cameo. Don't you think you're asking Wave a little too much here?
Plus, remember the abilities I criticized in the Gen 3 segment? This gen fixed it. Thank God.
With the possible exception of Shadow Tag? No, it didn't. I'd like to argue that Gen 5 was the one that fixed abilities, if anything. Let's look at Sturdy. In Gen 3 and Gen 4, it was just protects itself from one-hit KO moves. In Gen 5, it prevents it from losing all of its health if it has full health. Or Lightning Rod. It went from just drawing electric attacks to it to absorbing them and using them to raise its special attack, provided it's not ground type.
Same goes to Natures. Yeah, some people were wondering why I didn't mention Natures in the last one. Yeah, this is why. I didn't care for it. Now it's fixed. Another thing I liked about the gameplay mechanics is the global trade station. Thank you, Nintendo, for adding in Wi-Fi to this series. With this feature now, you can get any kind of Pokemon you cannot access in the grass, as well as adding in playable games for your friends across the world. Excellent!
You know, ignoring all of the people who abused the system by either asking for something impossible to get, or asking for something that's not worth the trade.
Also, in terms of the first Gen 4 games, I would say Diamond and Pearl are actually pretty decent. But then we got Platinum on this bitch! Oh my god! I love this game. It gives so much more to do. Adds in new forms, changes up some gym designs, fixes up the story, pimped up the graphics, and many, many more. Also, thank you for adding in the Battle Frontier. It was such a breath of fresh air as opposed to the Battle Tower just being there. Plus, with the different types of matches, this Frontier has more replay value than the Emerald version in the Battle Tower.
Pokemon Platinum fixes up the stuff in Diamond and Pearl and adds in the Battle Frontier? 10 out of 10! Pokemon Emerald fixes up the stuff in Ruby and Sapphire and adds the Battle Frontier? 0 out of 10, it sucks! Well, okay, 1 out of 10!
Like Gen 3, Gen 4 saw its remakes of Generation 2. Let's talk about them. Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Oh yes, this was awesome! Adding in the gameplay of Gold and Silver, giving it the Gen 4 treatment, and giving it awesome sauce makes these remakes even better than the original.
Yes, they are better than the original, and that is why the original is number... Wait, what?
Pokemon Battle Revolution is a really awesome game, and to this day, I don't understand the hate for this game. It was a really good game with a really good online connection. Much better than Brawls.
I could argue about how the Wi-Fi actually sucks in Battle Revolution, but even without that, the problem is that it's short, or at least felt short, and it had a limited supply of rental Pokemon, most of which you had to unlock.
Now into the region and team.
Apparently, Wave had to cut corners.
Like every Pokemon introduced in this, with a couple exceptions. And by the way, Alex, you get Burmy by putting honey on a tree, not by using Headbutt, and it also has 2 evolution methods. Just saying.
Burmy and Pineapple are still both known as the Bagworm Pokemon. Burmy and Pineapple are still only found by trees, albeit different methods. And Burmy and its evolutions still suck as Pokemon. Just saying.
Oh yeah, I went there. This generation fixed so many problems the previous generation caused. It's amazing.
Please tell me I'm not the only one who finds it ironic that he's using Generation 4 music to represent Generation 2.
Next up is hardening and darkening the type balance with the steel and dark types. Introduced this generation in order to fix the psychic types in balance, killing it off for good.
Yeah, no. Dark and Steel, between the two of them, only had a total of 12 Pokemon, and not that many attacks to be had between either of them. Plus, Getting any of those Pokemon, especially before the Elite Four, would be a hassle because they didn't appear anywhere. Literally, you can only get a few of them. And in some cases, like Umbreon and Skarmory, only under certain conditions. This is not to say the problem wasn't addressed, but it certainly wasn't fixed.
Johto is easily my favorite region out of all the Pokemon gens. Memorable locations, awesome landmarks, and the geography makes it look like its own country, with mountains, lakes, oceans, and caves.
Sinnoh and Unova had mountains, oceans, lakes, and caves. Why don't you mention it for them?
Team Rocket I like more in this generation than in Generation 1. They do more stuff that helps in completing their goal and than what they did with Giovanni. While their plan is ultimately to get back Giovanni, I love how they do it, because I never saw it coming. And if you count the Celebi event in Heart Gold Soul Silver,
using the context of Gen 4,
when is about to leave his hiding spot. And the Elites this time around were more fleshed out and given more character development. And they also have a new theme song.
Pony joke, skip!
And as for Silver, oh boy, this guy is not only my favorite rival in the series next to N, but he has something no other rival except N has. Character development.
One could argue that Jiren did as well. Where's his medal?
Now, the manga I've only read a bit of, but it was pretty awesome. Seeing Ethan, Silver, and Chris in this makes them pretty awesome, and they have actually much more character in this one than the games. Plus, the villain, the Mask of Ice, is actually...
Nope, no spoilers for you guys.
As for the movies, there are only two. Actually, I'm just kidding, there are a few actually. Pokemon the Movie 2000, the Entei movie, and Pokemon Forever. Now, as for Pokemon Forever, I really love this movie. The plot was interesting, especially with Celebi and Oak. The villain was really good, and it was really sad when Celebi was about to die. See, Pokemon, this is how you do drama, not with this. Failure!
Dan Green poisons a lake? OMG, so emotional! Sean Shamel puts a mother through hell and kills her in front of her child? Oh, it was a Shadow Ball that did her in. Fuck this shit.
I feel like this generation introduced the most unique and balanced Pokemon, as well as some unique typings. Some of my favorites include Sunflora, Suicune, and my favorite underrated Pokemon of all, and or my second favorite of all, Ampharos.
Yeah, Generation 2 added all these new type combinations, such as grass... No. Wait. Water... No, that doesn't work. Wait, I know. Electric... Yeah, I got nothing.
To close, Generation 2 fixed so many problems that Gen 1 had, it's amazing. It has so many new mechanics, added 2 new types that are still used to this day, and introduced my favorite amount of Pokemon of all time.
Through all this, I almost forgot to mention. Remember earlier when you were criticizing Gen 3 for introducing stuff that wasn't improved until later generations? Couldn't the same argument be made for Gen 2? I mean, the use of Dark and Steel type moves and attacks, they weren't improved upon until Generation 3 or after. So, why does Gen 2 get all the treatment?
I'm the Mountie Chief, and Generation 2 is my favorite gen of all time. Thank you for watching.
Oh, thank God this is, what the fuck?
This place looks so familiar.
Oh God, he's adding his Sprite series into this.
What are you doing here?
If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna hide for the rest of the video.
Then what is it?
You want to meet the chief, don't you?
He's been gone for 2 months. I think you know why I need him in a time like this.
I could help you.
How? The Zorgia world was destroyed and Giratina was killed.
I may not have Giratina, but take this.
What's this?
You will find out soon enough.
Is it gone? Is it safe to come out now? You know what? Fuck it. I'm done here. My own thoughts, personally, Generation 2 is my least favorite generation of Pokemon. But even if I agreed, this list would still be shit.